Hey, welcome to the MindMesh podcast, everybody. My name's Chayton.
Fuck off.
What do you mean, fuck off? No, fuck you. My name's Chayton. You say the next thing.
I said my name already.
Oh my gosh. No, I cut it out. Your
No,
name's
you
Fisher.
didn't.
I said it for you. Congratulations. Welcome to the MindMesh podcast, the podcast all about those internet rabbit holes you find yourself in late at night,
I'm gonna
or those
scream
shower
right
thoughts
now.
that don't make any sense once you revisit them in the future. On today's episode, we don't have a whole lot of like hard topics, like solid topics that we're going into. Because Fisher wanted to do one of those shoot the shit episodes.
I love shooting the shit. It's always a good time.
I love shooting the shit, especially when like I've eaten gluten or dairy, when it really messes up my stomach. Because then I act like my 19-year-old cat that just projectile shits all over the walls. Not saying I've ever done that, just saying that's how I feel on the inside. And with that being said, let's start off. Fish, what do you got for me? What? What? You don't think that was a good segue?
You know, why don't we start with your topic?
No.
Because I feel like that'll get my mind stirring to like just have a conversation about things.
You said that you had something to talk about before.
I know, but I forgot about it.
Bro,
you're
lying to me right now.
I'm not lying to you.
You were straight lying to my face right now, and
I'm not lying to you.
I don't appreciate it.
I don't know what I was going to talk about.
That's a lie.
I genuinely forgot, and I'm sorry.
You got that snide lying face that you always do. That when you lie, your glasses slowly fall down your fucking nose.
No, that's always because my glasses are fucking broken.
No, I know, but the thing is that you generally look down more when you're lying and be like, haha, this is a funny joke. Whenever you're like, you really want to emphasize it. Your glasses are always halfway down.
It's going on too long. I really don't know.
Yeah, because you're not talking to me. You're not giving me the conversation that I desire, Fish, huh? That's what I want. That's all I want. All right, what's your dream vacation, Fish?
My dream vacation would be like
getting away from me, because that's mine. I just want to get away from you.
Well, no, I was going to say the opposite. Taking a vacation with you and our friend group.
Bro, that's gross.
And going to like Japan.
I'm not that close. I do want to. I've told my girlfriend before that I would really love to go to Japan for a vacation.
I would love to take like a. I would love to take a guy's trip to Japan though. Just like hanging out.
No, completely. Senior trip. Hey,
seniors.
No, but the ultimatum I gave to my girlfriend was she wanted to go to Amsterdam. I was like, okay, if we go to Amsterdam, we got to go to Japan. And she was like, okay, whatever. She wasn't all for it, but I was like, yeah, you should be all for it.
Free weed in Amsterdam, copious amounts of booze.
Yeah.
Not free weed, legal weed in Amsterdam.
Legal weed is free weed in my mind, man.
And then copious amounts of alcohol in Japan. It seems like it fits the two of you pretty well.
Yeah. No, but I agree with the sentiment. I've seen so many like trout, like I've seen
like, I don't know if you've probably seen this guy with as much YouTube as you watch, because you watch probably
Eric Surf 6.
No, Abroad in Japan.
Yeah, wait, maybe
it's a British dude that like moved to Japan.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say that when I grew up in like middle school, I watched this like magician who lived in Japan called Eric Surf 6. And one of my friends in middle school actually entered a YouTube competition that he was hosting and won it.
Oh.
So he got like a starter magic kit from like this guy, and it was shipped from Japan to his house, and he was like showing me. I was like, wait, you watch him too? And he was like, yeah, I was in like the finalist video. Because he did like a card trick. Because that was how you entered the competition.
You did a card trick? Or
no, you
like
just sent in a magic trick and he chose. And it turned out to be my friend. And I remember watching the video afterwards and I was like, well, hot damn. He wasn't lying, was he? But no, watching that channel back in the day is what kind of got me into Japan. Because like literally he did like magic tricks, but then he did Japan vlogs where all he did was go up to all the random obscure vending machines. And he was like, I can get hot corn soup.
I mean, I always
just
thought
like, wait, what? They also have like underwear vending machines in Japan.
There are vending machines for everything in Japan.
No.
I took this one summer course and it was literally called Japanese culture and anime. So it was like literally about
Wait, that was a course you took?
Well, I've told you about the summer camp I went to.
No.
Explo. It's where I met my friend Sam.
You know,
I've probably
it's
briefly
been brief. I don't think you've ever told me the full story. Just of that image that you have of that guy that looks really weird. Yeah, that's Sam.
And then
I met him at Explo. That's about all. That's probably
So Explo was like a summer camp, and you could take courses for about anything. And honestly, that's where I found my love for filmmaking, was taking a filmmaking course there.
Yeah, you just really loved like doing cinematography around all those fucking weebs.
But you had 2 courses, and then you had like workshops. And when the workshops was, like I said, Japanese anime and culture, stuff like that. So yeah, the dude literally talked about like how there are vending machines for alcohol and cigarettes, stuff like that. It's crazy. Like literally anything's in a vending machine there.
What's funny,
or like the toys there, like the fucking like, you go to the grocery store and the little like capsule toys.
Yeah,
like those are huge there.
Yeah. What I was about to say is that I had a very similar experience in high school. I also went to a kind of a competition like that. Yeah. Or not a competition, but like a place where you could take classes.
Summer camp?
Yeah. Not really a summer camp. It was like a weekend event that was like hosted by the school, like paid for. It was almost like a weekend field trip. It was called Skills USA, except it was like super egocentric, based around our state. So I got to take a culture class over our state.
Oh, fun. Do you want to learn about all the Tennessee anime?
Wait, you know about it? Let's talk about it. Because I personally, I think there's a lot of great anime that comes out of the great state of Tennessee, personally. But maybe that's just me. Bro, we need to stop that. We're going to give someone a geolocation of us, and then all of a sudden we're going to have like fans knocking outside our door.
Look, we live at blank, 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 beep.
What?
Nothing. You cut that part out, right?
I mean, yeah, sure. I always talk about how whenever we do those like weird sound effects or like those weird sounds with our mouths, that I'm gonna just make them into the bleep sound effect, but I never do. And
I know it shows the amount of effort you like to put into the podcast.
Look, I will say this: I put a lot of effort into doing the audio. Here's the main thing.
You like mixing the audio; it's going back and editing through it.
Well, that is mixing the audio.
Well, no, I meant like splicing pieces together, like grabbing bits of the.
That's called editing.
Well, I was talking about like mixing.
I was gonna try to explain to save you from the embarrassment, but guess what? You walked your way into it.
I'm sorry. No, please explain.
My favorite thing is actually getting into the nitty gritty of the sound waves themselves and changing them and morphing them so that they sound pretty. But I don't like going in and like taking out bits and pieces. Like
splicing audio and stuff like that.
Well, especially like if this was like short form, like 15-minute like episodes or whatever, then it'd be easy for me to be able to just scan through and find the stuff that I want to delete and take out.
Yeah.
But in this long form factor, it's like by the time we're at the end of the episode, I have completely forgotten about what happened at the beginning. So it's one of
comes with like the drinking that we do before the podcast.
No, I feel like even if we didn't have the whole intoxication aspect to the whole thing, I still feel like I probably would get lost because we cover like sometimes we do cover a lot of topics. We go down a whole lot of side branching paths and stuff like that.
Yeah, a lot of times like last episode, like we did have topics, but like
and then we just got completely sidetracked for like 20 minutes.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where like if it's like a 1 second piece in a 45-minute to 50-minute episode.
It's hard to like
that's like 1/500th of the episode that I have to remember, or and I have to go back to and edit out or redo or whatever. And it's just at that point for me, it's like it's almost not worth it to just leave in that little tidbit type deal.
No, I get what you're saying.
Like I would much rather have it be rapid form content creation, as most of the internet is nowadays.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I don't know. That's one thing I talk about. I've mentioned it a lot of times here, the Joe Rogan podcast, because of course I'm one of those fucking Joe bros that listen to it.
Yeah, fuck you. You don't need to listen to our own podcast, but you listen to Joe Rogan.
But one thing I really hated about what he did was he quit doing them live. Of course, we don't do our podcast live, but we don't tend to cut out anything from it. So I feel like there's just like I mean, I understand why he's doing it because like he can get some crazy guests and like the amount of like fame he is now.
Yeah.
I understand that.
No, doing podcasts live is very tough because especially if you're doing a podcast that not requires guests, but like typically has a guest, which Joe Rogan typically has a guest.
Yeah. Almost
like,
always.
Especially if you're playing around that, you literally you can't have a schedule. Like if you're doing it live, like yes, there's there's all the late night shows or just live shows in general.
But even those are like pre-recorded during the day.
Yeah, they're pre-recorded, but the thing is that they have so much notoriety that they can ask celebrities to be like, "Hey, can you change your schedule for that?" Joe Rogan still isn't there. So yes, he got some celebrities to get on while he was in that live phase of his show, but now he's having to become accustomed to the celebrity schedules that he can get on.
No, I completely agree with that.
So I mean, we've also run into that same issue where like we want to have a guest on and like their schedule
conflicts.
Yeah, schedule conflicts, and we just can't have them on, and we have to reschedule or just they can never.
I mean,
be there.
Little hint, tease. We're supposed to have a guest on tonight.
Oh,
but we weren't able to have them due to scheduling conflicts.
Yeah, no. So it's one of those things where like, unless you have like crazy big notoriety, that kind of presence to cause a large celebrity or just anyone to conform to your schedule is hard.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. But I mean, like, I was going back to more like the audio editing and stuff, like taking stuff out and like
especially
cutting stuff. I feel
if you don't do live, you have a whole lot of more post time.
But I mean, like, even then, like, I feel like we don't cut out a lot of stuff. But I mean, like, I think that's a reason.
I have only once in the history of our podcast Movie Talks have I ever cut something out.
I mean, I think it's just like names and stuff. Like if we accidentally name drop something.
Yeah, I have done that. No, I talk about like some of them where I was like, oh, this cannot go out. There has been a singular time where I've done that.
I'm gonna ask you off air what that is because I'm very curious to know.
No, yeah, there's only been a singular time where I was like, you know what, this probably shouldn't go out to the general audience on the internet.
Again, I'm now very curious.
What's up?
What was I gonna say?
I don't know. You keep saying you forget stuff, and then
what? I haven't talked to you much about video games lately. What video games have you been playing?
None.
You haven't been playing anything? What were you playing over? I mean, we're like now over a month, probably like 2 months now.
Yeah, no, we're way past
like into like our break. But like, were you playing any games on break? Were there anything that you were getting into?
Spider-Man, like 2 years too late. But
I remember you told me
that's
like,
the only
100%.
game I played. I 100% is Spider-Man. That's it.
I see. Me and
oh, hello.
You know our friend Billy.
Yeah.
Me and him tried to play through God of War over Christmas break. I think we got
the new one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We got about like 25, maybe. I want to say maybe 25 to halfway % through.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 20 to 30% or like minutes into the game. I was like, wow, you made it through the tutorial. Congratulations.
But no, it was just hard to keep up with that because we tried to keep up whenever we were able to hang out.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we just hang out and forget to play.
No, that's kind of the problem. I've been trying to get my girlfriend into gaming more, and the problem is that I have to be very specific because she's never played video games in her whole life.
Yeah.
So like she's
really into Stardew, isn't she?
Well, she has played 2D games before.
Yeah.
So the first game that we ever played together was Donkey Kong Country, the new one, that like port from the Wii U to the Switch.
Yeah.
Tropical Freeze. That was like the first like video game that we ever played together. And then after that, I was like, okay, you've played 2D games. Let's do a slight step up and go 3D.
And play Mario Odyssey.
No, not Mario Odyssey. I got her to play Detroit Become Human.
Oh, okay.
But I put her on the easiest difficulty, so like all the quick time events was just like the X button.
Yeah.
And so, because I was like, there's no way she's gonna be able to play like God of War or Uncharted.
Or like something super intense.
Well, no, not super intense, because like I mean, she played Detroit, so there's like some very intense moments in there where you're having to press buttons very fast. No, my reasoning for that was that She did Donkey Kong, so she understood lateral movement. So I moved her to Detroit so she could understand lateral and Z-space movement. But I knew that we couldn't go to something like Uncharted or a first-person game, because then at that point she has to control the camera, and so
That
like
adds a different
it's
level
like
of complexity
it's
to it.
more of a gradual type deal where I wanted to introduce like one thing at a time. So it's like with Donkey Kong, it's like lateral movement. With the next one, it's like, and basically every video game that we play is just more and more complex until, she can get to the elite gamer that I am. Because
she's just not at that level yet.
yeah, no, she's not. She's at least a level 2, and I need her to be a level 10. 10 out of 10. That's all.
Doesn't have
I
enough
need.
XP yet.
No XP. Absolutely none. She keeps dying in her dungeons, so she keeps losing all of her armor.
Is this Dark Souls?
No, Stardew.
Oh, okay.
But no, she did super get into. She actually she got into Stardew for a long time, but she's actually been playing Don't Starve here recently. So
Playing what?
Don't Starve.
Don't Starve.
You never heard?
I feel like I've heard of that, but I don't know what it is.
It has very Tim Burton-esque drawings.
Oh, okay.
It's
Is it like a 2D platformer?
No,
Almost?
it's. I mean, it's 2D, like it's hand drawn stuff, but it's almost like third person perspective.
Oh, okay.
But it's like fixed camera. Like if you hit the W and A keys, or A and D maybe. There are certain keys on the keyboard that if you press it, it actually turns the camera.
Oh,
Like
okay.
it works on the 4-quadrant system. So like everything's 2D, but if you press a certain button, it's
It'll
like
shift
Paper. It's
perspective.
almost like Paper Mario, where like if you
No,
press the button, it like rotates the world, but all the graphics stay the same.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but it's like it's the Dark Souls, the survival games, yada yada yada. It's the hardcore mode in Minecraft, where if you die, you die.
The quote unquote Dark Souls of
Yeah,
insert
no.
game.
Yeah, no, terrible.
How do you, being like a Bloodborne, Sekiro, From Software fan, how do you feel about that whole like analogy type towards games? Because like they were calling like Cuphead the like
Dark Souls, a platformer.
Yeah.
I mean,
do you think that's like a good term to use for difficulty?
oh
or?
no, it's not a good term. It's just it's honestly a term of flattery. Because I mean, they're literally praising From Software in a sense.
Yeah, no, I get you. They're just gonna like
I was personally never a Dark Souls fan. I was
Wait, I know
into
you're more-
Bloodborne and Sekiro, but personally to me, I find no wrong. Yes, it's slightly annoying because with Cuphead and with Don't Starve, literally they use the term Dark Souls as the game's hard, but that's not really Dark Souls. But in another sense, it's also like a major form of flattery because it's like, the name of your game has literally become a definition in a sense. Like if your
it's
game,
almost like how Kleenex is like now a term for like a tissue.
yeah, no. So it's one of those
Like
things.
Dark Souls is now almost like a difficulty level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
No.
people.
I completely concur. But no, I don't have any problem with it per se. Yes, it's slightly annoying because it's one of those things where, like, if you said it, it's like, Cuphead's the Dark Souls of platformers. It's like, it's one of those things where I feel like you can't use the term unless you've played the game.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Like,
'cause,
I got to the point where, like, I was never a huge fan of Dark Souls. I've owned it on literally every console I've ever owned. I've owned it on
you tried
PC.
to play it on each.
Yeah, I've tried. It's the same with Skyrim. I own Skyrim on every console that I own. And I've tried every single time to play it, and I've never been able to get into it. Never have been able to get into it.
I don't understand, but keep going.
How about you shut up? That's a whole different can of fucking worms
It
that we
is.
could get into. But no, it's kind of funny. The Switch was the first console that I ever got Dark Souls on that actually like got me interested in the game somehow. I feel like it was just due to the handheld portability of it all.
No, I get you.
But I really don't know why, because the main reason that I don't typically like games like Dark Souls and Skyrim is that I don't like medieval fantasy.
Yeah.
I don't like that kind of genre.
Well-
I don't like that aesthetic.
Well, I know you're not like a big fan of open worlds, but do you think you would have been a more of a fan of like Fallout or
I don't like Fallout. I love Apocalypse, but I can't do Fallout because of the open world.
Okay.
I've tried Fallout, same as I've tried Skyrim.
Do you think you'd like something like Outer Worlds where it's open world esque or like Breath of the Wild esque?
I was like, what the fuck is that sound? And there's someone blaring their music outside the window.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna take a listen.
Yeah, straight could hear it. They might have stopped. I was hearing it like super loud. Like it was literally like the car right outside our window.
Oh,
But
assholes.
Bro, what were you asking?
I don't know.
I don't even remember. It's time for an ad break.
Look, Fish, I need to know something. I need to know. Have you heard?
Yeah,
You have?
I
Are you sure?
Possibly. You can tell me though.
Have you heard of Anchor?
Like the thing that's on like boats.
No. Anchor. It's the easiest way to make a podcast. I'll let you explain. You said you knew about it.
Oh yeah. I remember now.
Okay.
It's free.
It's free?
Yeah, there's
Like absolutely free, no charge.
no charge.
Uh-huh.
There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer.
Wait, phone? You can just pull out your phone
And edit your podcast right from it. And
that's
record it.
wild. That's absolutely wild. What else does it do?
Well, you can distribute your podcast, or Anchor will distribute your podcast for you.
Where?
So it can be heard on Spotify,
Spotify?
Apple Podcasts,
Apple Podcasts?
and anywhere else. Many more.
Wait, so like Google Podcasts and all of those, you can hear it using
yeah.
Anchor? Oh my, really? What else do they do?
You can make money from your own podcast with no minimum listenership.
No minimum listenership? Are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
man.
You can just make money from making a podcast? I
Yeah,
didn't know
man.
you could do that.
It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
Wait, so you're telling me that if our listeners want to make a podcast, all they have to do is download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and get started and make their own podcast?
Yes, that's all they have to do is
That's all they have to
download
do?
the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
That's absolutely wild. What a great steal.
What a great steal.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you love that ad break. It truly is the crown jewel of the MindMesh series. Is that
Crazy
ad.
that we had to switch back to those mics every time we re-record it.
Yeah, I know. It fucking. Can you also talk into the mic for a second?
I thought I was. I see
you
my
look-
levels, but I really thought I was talking to the mic with that.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you right now. It was like pin the tail on a donkey. You were facing the opposite way.
Oopsies and
Oopsies and
daisies.
daisy. So the first half we're gonna discern as Fisher's topic, even though
Quote
there was
unquote.
quote unquote, even though there was no topic.
It was just a nice conversation.
But I do have a question for you.
What?
Okay, this is a weird way to word it, but I have noticed this in society.
What?
Why do you think that humans care more for animals than humans? Like, think of it this way.
Okay,
I can watch any. I can watch any.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Well, let me give an example. I can watch any movie under the sun that has massive amounts of human casualties in it and not bat an eye. But when I watch a movie
or
about
like
an
a
animal,
cat or a dog like dying.
yeah, about like an animal like dying or being put in a hard situation, I kid you not, there's a tear going down my face in every single one of those. Like, what in our human nature like makes us naturally just more emotional towards animals and loving of animals than humans?
I think a lot of it, like when you think of when I think of like gore in horror movies, it's normally like the hero or the protagonist like killing a monster or killing a bad guy or goons for a bad guy. So there's like a morality thing there. And like,
You trying to tell me I don't got morals?
no, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying like there's a morality thing because like they're defeating this evil or whatever.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like an animal getting hurt,
They're
or
defenseless.
exactly.
Poor little puppy, poor little Marley and me.
They're a defenseless little creature, or like it's a human being cruel to them because they're obviously more strong.
Yeah. But like I said Marley and me.
I don't even remember how Marley ends.
The dog just got old. The dog died due to old age. It wasn't even any kind of abuse or cruelty. It's literally the dog just got old and died.
Yeah.
That's kind of more what, like, yeah.
I mean, that's on, but I mean, like, thinking,
well, I mean, for me, it's
thinking of like personal, like, situations with pets and stuff. I mean, I've lost pets in, like, numerous of ways, with, like, either getting ran over or dying of old age or something like that.
Yeah, and then you took the dead corpse up the side of a mountain, buried it on this weird pet cemetery, and then they came back to life?
Maybe. But where I was going with that was the fact that, like, you it hurts a lot. I think the reason they chose that is, like, it hurts a lot more when, like, you've lived with the dog its entire lifespan.
Well, yeah, it's harder, but I mean, that's like, for the people, not the person watching. Like, the person watching didn't grow up with Marley.
I know, but they probably can relate to that in some form or fashion.
Yeah, well, you say that, but it's also kind of weird because I've talked to people that have never had a pet in their life.
That's
and
true.
They still feel more sentimental attachment to animals than humans.
I mean, I think it also goes with just the fact that they're, like you said, they're defenseless animals.
Yeah,
like, it's hard. It's, like, hard to see something like that, like, get hurt or something.
But what if it's a defenseless human? What if it's a child?
I mean, then yeah, that's sad because, like, people. That's
not as sad as a dog dying.
I think it spreads on.
All right, Fisher's drawing his line in the sand. He's saying a child dying is worse than a dog dying. Internet comments, do your worst.
See what people say.
Yeah, no, but I've always found, like, I don't know. I just had this kind of weird fascination that I find that a lot of times when, like, people are talking about animals, there's always this strong advocation to not, well, like, of course, animal abuse is, like, wrong. It's, like, personally, in my mind, it's one of the worst things a human can do.
Oh, sure, Chayton, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Off air, you were just telling me how
Bro, oh my God. Putting words into my fucking mouth. No, animal abuse, like, is, like, it hurts my soul to think about. And I listen to all these, like, actors and stuff like that, or just anyone of, like, power, like, talking about this sort of stuff. And I just find there's this odd, like, discrepancy of, it's always, like, there's a lot more talk about the detriment to animals than there is the human race.
I mean,
but it also ties
I don't mean
into
to
it.
bring, like, current. I mean, I don't know how current with our backlog.
It's current.
The current events are, but, like, the Australia wildfires, like, I don't see a lot. I don't see a lot of, where I'm going with that is I don't see too much funding going into the people.
Yeah, it's the animals. It's preserving the nature.
And before you guys get mad, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing at all.
And we're also not saying that it doesn't exist. I'm just saying, like, what we have seen.
Yeah, no.
No,
like,
I've
seems
seen
to be
a lot
more predominant. It's predominantly more towards, like, protecting the wildlife and the animals and stuff like that.
Yeah, protecting the environment than it is protecting, like, the people.
The homes and, like, the people.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm positive that there's stuff and charities for stuff like that, but like you said, I see it more towards the wildlife.
It's just odd that in, like, mass media there's this, like, weird distinction towards, like, protecting animal life, and I mean, like, it's weird to say this, but protecting the environment, even though
even though everything else going on with the environment. But I mean, protecting it or trying to save it now is, like, the thing people are trying to do, because, like, I can't remember the shit people have said, but, like, isn't it, like, in, like, we only have 80 years to try and fix things before we're completely fucked or something like that?
Yeah, that's like doomsday clock type deal where they're like, oh, the doomsday clock is 2 minutes to midnight, yada yada yada, that sort of thing. Like, those dates change every single year. They get worse and worse every single year, but then for whatever reason they, like, grow again. Like, yeah, there's a problem and it needs to be fixed. The problem is that they just kind of use, like, alarm tactics, scare tactics, type deal, and that's why a lot of people don't like conform to it because they're just like, oh, you're just trying to scare us into this rather than giving us like proof. Like,
yeah, no, I
how
get
do
what
you
you're saying.
know? Show me the quadratic formula for how you determine the year that everything's gonna go down. I thought when you were gonna talk about a current event, you were gonna talk about Joaquin Phoenix at the Oscars, talking about dairy farms. Did you see that speech?
I did not see the speech. I heard that he started going really environmental with the speech.
Yeah,
but,
no,
like,
he went. It was honestly kind of sad because like you could tell he had like major stage fright.
Oh, really?
Like he was like stumbling and pausing all over his words. Like he couldn't formulate a sentence because he was just like he was literally stage fright.
Oh, wow.
And but no, he was talking about how like on farms they take the mom cow, and as soon as the calf is born, they take that calf away from the mom, even through its screams of like anger and like sorrow as its child's being taken away. And then we force it into a cage and just milk it as it lactates to feed his baby that's no longer with it.
Yeah.
So he was talking like about dairy and stuff like that, and like dairy farms and animal cruelty and stuff like that. But the whole like general consensus of his Oscar speech was basically like be kind to people because when we're kind to people, we do the best in the world.
Interesting. I guess it all loops around back to Joker.
Yeah, it all loops back to Joker, and we live in a society.
Did you see that guy? I showed you. I think I showed you like a clip of him yesterday of him raging that Joker didn't win Best Picture.
Yes.
The fact that
the fact that Parasite won, like,
and I think it's interesting because yesterday I did watch Parasite, and because I hadn't seen it yet.
Is it better than Joker?
Yeah, it is,
bro. But it's not in English.
But also,
I can't
like,
read.
But also the fact that like the dude was talking about how like, oh, mental health is one of the biggest things to talk about, or like not biggest, one of the big issues to talk about in America and the world right now. Why didn't Joker win? Dude didn't watch Parasite and realize that they talk about the same issues.
What was it? Everyone was complaining that like Parasite won at the Oscars and like talking about the whole the whole subtitles debacle.
Because it like won best
foreign film and then foreign language film and then it won Best Picture. It was like complaining about it and they were like, but it's not in English, yada yada yada. I was reading there's like one country, I forget exactly where it is.
There's another no, that was the first film.
But there's a country that whatever films get like made there and distributed out, or if they like have a translator in like a translated version in theaters, they hire a singular actor to like voice everyone in the film, and he just reads it in a monotone fashion. he literally reads the script monotone, and that's what they show.
That's awful. What country is that?
I don't know. It might have also been a fake article. I also don't know that.
The validity of said article.
Yeah, like literally it was like a Twitter meme type deal. Like I was just scrolling through, I saw an article. I was like, you know what, let's look at it. But yeah, no, I remember reading that and I just thought it was the funniest thing. Like just imagine going to see Parasite and like throughout the movie all you hear is just like, oh, he is here.
Oh no. We have to go.
Like it's just like this super monotone English.
And those are like two characters talking to each other. That wasn't the same line.
Yeah, no. What fucking what this just makes me think of like the whole like dub versus sub debate for like anime films.
I mean, if you want to get in that whole can of worms, I can give you my 2 cents real quick.
I want subs. Only subs, no dubs.
I think there are some dubs that are okay. I think
1%.
No, it's very few.
1.5.
Very few.
Hard bargain, 5%.
Like
no, there are definitely
Naruto,
some. Well,
I love and that might also be due to nostalgia, but I love the Naruto dub. But one that I think is genuinely good up to this day is the Death Note dub.
Okay. Well, no, that's what I was gonna say. Is that a lot of the Shonen Jump animes have good dubs. My problem is everything else.
Oh yeah,
like that. Literally, the Shonen Jump is the 1%. But like, I cannot like anything like Spirited Away, any Miyazaki film. Anything from
I mean,
I forget his name, Your Name. It's like the guy who did Your Name. We literally talked about it today.
This isn't the same dude, but the guy that did like Perfect Blue and Paprika in the same way, like Satoshi Kon. I can't watch any of his films.
Even though I don't understand what they're saying, the emotion is just so much better than the dub.
Yeah. No, you can understand the emotion.
Like I literally it was
and it doesn't come off as cheesy.
I forget the name of it. But it was this like feel good anime film, and it was all about this bully who literally a new transfer student moved to his school that was deaf, and he bullied her for like 2 years straight. Like literally ripped her hearing aids out of her ear at one point and made her ears just start leaking blood, and just like thought it was funny. And like it was this whole like thing where like later on in life he got shunned because he got called out on it, and everyone started hating him. He was the popular kid
for being the bully, and
being the bully. But then the teacher and the parents like got on to like were like she transferred schools because she was being bullied so much. Who did it? And they all threw him under the bus, and they all started like ignoring him to the point where he was like on the verge of suicide. And so like the entire movie is him like building back up his self-confidence and like meeting back up with this deaf girl and like
apologizing
and stuff like that. And the Japanese version of it is just so beautiful. But then you watch the dub, and it's like this. Of course, she's a deaf girl, so she can't speak fluent.
Yeah,
like she can't speak the language that she lives in. So, like in the Japanese version, it like you can tell, like it almost sounded like they hired a deaf voice actor to voice the lines. Yeah, but in the fucking American version, you know what it sounds like?
Perfect, clear English.
No, it just sounds like someone trying to act it, and it sounds culturally like it sounds insensitive.
Oh, wait, are they trying to sound Japanese?
No, it's just like say if you're trying to say hi, my name's Fisher, but if you're deaf, it's gonna be like, this is how it's gonna sound. Hi, my name's Fisher.
Oh,
like that's how they voice acted it, and it was like it just sound like
I thought you meant towards like culturally insensitive towards like Japanese people, but you mean like towards like the deaf community.
Yeah, no. I mean, yes, it was insensitive towards like just the deaf community in general, personally, in my opinion.
At least they can't ever.
Dude, shut up! Oh my god. No, but that's like the extreme. Like, I mean, there's also other like foreign films, not even just like Japanese.
Yeah.
Like just foreign films in general in a different language that have been dubbed over. That like and this is the same problem. I mean, it's a similar problem in English films. Whenever we had to do ADR, it's just like whenever you have anything that requires replacement of dialogue, there's always an issue of unless they're really, really fucking good, you're not gonna get the same performance out of them.
Also, just like the languages are so different. So
so localization is a bitch and a fucking half.
Well, also like people try and match the animations up to like
impossible.
So like they try to make the English lines fit in like the amount.
It works for video games because in video games the mouths are just like opening and closing. They're not actually like formulating sentences.
Oh yeah.
But also some video games have gotten so good where because they're doing whenever they have voice actors come in, they actually mocap their face. So that way, depending on the version of the game you buy, literally their voices match because they just changed out the animation files on their mouths.
Yeah, no.
But no,
where was I going with that?
Basically, they try to match up their mouths, and it just doesn't work because it doesn't give the same. Like a word in one language might be a second long, but in another language it might be 3 seconds long. So it never matches, and it's kind of off-putting if they try to like build that.
There was this animated movie on Netflix called The Guardian Brothers, which was like a Chinese animated film, and my God, it was
bad.
The dub was so fucking
was horrid.
No, like the movie itself wasn't like I had to turn it. I like quit watching or paying attention to it just because like how bad the dub was.
I'll be the first to admit that there have been some foreign films that I've watched that if they don't have a dub and if I'm like too tired, it's just like.
No, I get that. If I'm if I'm like laying down to watch and want something to put on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put on something that I had to focus on to the point where I have to like read the subtitles for. But there's just certain there's just certain but also in that case, it's also something that's like I don't want to pay attention to, so it doesn't matter if it sounds good or not. But if it's something that I actually want to watch,
I tend to, if it's something I want to watch, I tend not to just put it on when I go to bed.
Well, if it's a foreign film and I have the intent to watch, I'll put on the dub and I'll listen to like the first minute and a half, and if it gets me, it gets me. If not, I'm going to the subtitles. That's just my general like rule of thumb.
No, I get you.
Is that
I mean, like you I don't know if I've referenced it on. I have referenced it enough here, to, like JoJo and shit like that. I've watched that, and like you said, like I've wanted to like go to sleep and like put on some of the later parts of JoJo, but
they're not dubbed yet.
They're dubbed, but they're just not anywhere streamable.
Oh,
so
on those
like,
illegal sites, you mean?
I mean, I don't go. I've been using Hulu, so
illegal sites, you mean?
Hulu, crack them down.
Hulu, crack them down. They don't file any copyright laws. But yeah, no, I completely,
yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
I get you.
Yeah.
But
with that
being said,
my name is
Chayton,
and I'm Fisher. And thank you so much for listening to the MindMesh podcast. You can tune us in every Monday on your favorite podcast platforms or every Wednesday on your favorite MindMesh YouTube channel. There's only one, I think, maybe. I don't actually know.
I hope.
I hope so, too. But with that being said, hope to see you guys next time for another exciting episode of MindMesh Z.
See ya. Bye.